Hello tacticians! Welcome back to another Rantview, this time of Forcas, the new and long overdue final Dark Angel. This one is half scripted with bullet points because I wanted to make sure I don't forget stuff I wanted to mention, and I did look Forcas up in the wiki to confirm my suspicions about his abilities scaling. Oh, what's he like? Okay, he looks baseline good, with what I believe is the original Dark Angels color scheme of being blackish and very dark green. But no wiggly physics parts, so that's minus a few points from me. Okay, next up, the traits. He's got a camouflage and parry, which makes him kinda tankier, extends his lifespan against everything except one-hit units, most effective being against 2 to 3 hit units. Okay. About the stats, those I got from the wiki, and he seems to be on the tankier side, has only melee attack with 6 power hits and kinda low base damage, but we will get to that later. And can equip a weapon, an armor piece, and a crit booster. Now, for his abilities. His active is similar to Tangida's in that he can switch between two stances. Basically, in one stance, he will be overwatching even after attacking during his turn. And this overwatch works similar to Riva's and Imospecs in that it continues after killing the first target with fewer hits. Originally, at common and uncommon rarity, he loses 3 hits per each overwatch. Then at rare and epic he only loses 2, and at legendary he loses 1, being able to attack up to 6 times. Or he can be in the sweep stance, during which or in which his normal attacks cleave. If you don't know what a cleave is, well, he attacks in an arc and strikes the targets on each side of his primary target as long as they're in melee. Okay, that's pretty basic, but then again, it is very versatile. Now, his passive, on the other hand, makes him deal 15 to 20%, increasing with rarity, damage for each adjacent unit. Apparently that's regardless of them being ally or enemy. And it gives him an additional flat bonus to damage for each adjacent allied Dark Angel. This circles back to his original or base damage being low, because he will always have at least one stack of this when attacking, and with correct positioning and mutual support with other allies, you can easily have 3 or more stacks all the time. The way this stacks, this should benefit greatly from having Calgar and Eldrion buff him, and potentially also Vitruvius and Thoriad for that extra 1 hit for each attack. I suspect that his intended faction role is a melee shield for Sarkael and Azrael in PvP or Wave modes, so he overwatches a bit, then gets hit, Sarkael follows up with a Vengeance Strike, and so on and so forth. Also, he's probably the best Dark Angel to trigger with Asmodee's active, which is not really redeeming Asmodee much, but there's that possibility. Okay, so what I think about his uses? Well, he seems to be decent in a multi-hit rate team, where he can hit the boss pretty hard when buffed and positioned correctly, or he can also hopefully deal, depending on his actual damage output and positioning, with initial minions on turn 1 by his overwatch, or with infinite summons, such as those from Sibyl or Tangida. In LREs, he fits all power, no ranged, and the minimum X hits conditions as an Empire character that can be valuable, and he can also act as a sort of a Jäger or Wolf in slightly different circumstances from them, or as a reverse Angrax, in that come to him, get hit, rather than run away from him and get hit. So I can see him being very convenient in the LREs, helping you automate them quite efficiently, especially since all power no ranged also fits Calgar, who can buff him. In the arena or guild wars, if you can set him up on high ground with Calgar next to him and LD behind him so that he buffs anything Forcas can hit, he will deal pretty well with most of melee heavy teams. But Rivas is probably still better in that role. Okay, so I think that's his most constructive uses, really. So my final conclusion and opinion, well, at the first glance he seems solid, not too convenient to use, I think, that will truly shine with plus damage buffs, and without them he still is versatile because he can switch modes as needed on the fly, and will definitely be a good unlock, which I won't be in a hurry. Why do I keep scripting such long and complicated sentences? To build, over finishing Admex and Dante in Helbrecht, and probably also not over the rapidly approaching Custodes. So that's what I think about Forcas, and I need to refrain from calling him Fornicas, probably. Oh well, there goes that. And I'm looking forward to reading your opinions in the comments. Oh, thank you for watching the video, if you're still watching. Screw you if you're not. And I'll see you in the next one, Tactician.
If you enjoyed this video, like it, share it, subscribe to the channel, and watch the video again.